Alright, boys and girls, it's Saturday and I'm finally back on the Escalade, removing the engine. Prior to this, I just had the stuff that I was doing on time lapse. I didn't think it was really interesting to see you watch me struggle with finding all the connectors that I had to disconnect. So I've got both drive shafts off. I've got most of the connectors that I could find disconnected, and last night I pulled off the intake, and now I'm working on the valley cover. I did break one of the sensor cables for the knock sensors trying to get the grommet off. The grommet, I'll turn this around. The grommet on these, it seems like the oil and time have baked it onto the sensors. So if I would have done this differently, I probably would have cleaned up this cable, because in pulling up on this grommet, it pulled the wire right out of the connector. So I'm gonna have to replace that. But if your engine is dirty as mine is, then I would have cleaned this so that I could pull this up and get to it, because I had never had this apart before, so I didn't know what I was looking for. But this connector fits down in here, and if you've got a needle nose pliers, you can then squeeze this and bring it up. I didn't have a needle nose big enough, so I used 2 screwdrivers to pinch the connector and bring it up. But again, I'm either gonna have to fix this or get another one for the knock sensors. And then before you can remove the valley cover, you've got a 22 millimeter socket to take out the sensors, and then the cover should come off. I've already got all the bolts out. So let me get these sensors out, and then we'll get the valley cover off, and then we can put the engine lifting plate on. There's our knock sensor. It looks like there's a rubber sleeve in there, which is gonna resist as we pull up on the valley cover. And I think we'll discover together whether this is the right way to do it or not. So I'm trying to pry up on this to see. I want to do this without, scratching the valley. So it seemed to budge if I moved it from the back, so I'll try that again. Oh, there we go. See the seal. I wonder if I'm supposed to leave this valley cover on and put the lifting plate over top of it. Maybe. But you can see I wrecked the seal getting it out. It's all dry and brittle, which is probably fine to replace that anyway. So you can see that left it behind. But maybe the valley cover lifting tool is supposed to go on over top of this. Let me know in the comments if that's what I'm supposed to do. So, okay, I read up on this valley cover. According to the JEGS website, you do take the valley cover off before putting the lifting tool on. And so this is the result. I put it on. This particular company, I think I bought this off eBay for like 40 bucks. Looks good enough. Looks like it should work. They even give you an extra bolt in case you drop one down in the engine, I guess. So, but with that tightened on there, now it's ready to lift off, and then I'm gonna go around the whole thing and try and discover what else I've forgotten to unhook before moving on to the motor mounts and the trans mount. All right, boys and girls, we're back in the shop on a Saturday, and we're here with the 2003 Escalade, and we've really taken everything off of it that we needed, engine and transmission, a few electrical parts, and now we're going to get it out of the shop so that we have room to work on the motor. But I did want to talk about and kind of dedicate to this episode to all the people that either came and bought things off of it or were going to come and buy things off of it. Immediately after I bought it, I put it back up on the interwebs, and people started buying parts off of it. There was a number of people that did not ever show up, but today I think what we're going to do is remove some of those parts in hopes that they can use them on their 2003 Escalade. And I did want to give some credit or just pay some respects to the previous owner. Her name is Kaylin. Just found her on Facebook Marketplace, and this was their family truckster before it burned down. So her and her husband, I think they have 3 or 4 kids, I can't remember. But you know, I'm sure she's going to be watching this episode and seeing her family truckster for the last time before it goes off to the junkyard. So the last thing we have to do is push it out of the building, and then we'll take some of those parts off of it outside. So let's move on to that next step. That we're going to harvest and save is for a gentleman named Jose, who was going to come like 3 weekends in a row, and so I'm sure he's pretty serious and he's going to want this hood. So we're just going to pick it up and set it aside for safekeeping. All right, this next item that we're going to take off is the roof rack, and I'm sure Michael is going to come back for it. So we're just going to take that roof rack off.
Easy removal.
Okay, on the driver's side, we're going to try and harvest the door emblems off the side of the driver door.
Yep.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed the destruction of the Escalade and the engine removal. Next episode, we're going to get into removing the camshaft and changing the valve springs. And so I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much for watching.